Now, what about Princess Beatrice and Eugenie? They've, of course, fled the UK and are reportedly barely holding it together, Josh.
The walls of Buckingham Palace are trembling in a way they've never done before, and it's all because a long-buried royal secret involving cold, hard cash and international intrigue has clawed its way into the light, leaving Princess Eugenie in a desperate scramble that insiders describe as pure terror. What if the polished smiles and charity galas were just the surface, hiding payments funneled through shadowy channels to keep uncomfortable truths locked away forever?
Imagine finding out your mother told a friend you were away on a shagging weekend. Now imagine that friend is a convicted paedophile. It feels like an egregious breach of trust, but this is precisely the level of humiliation Princess Eugenie had to endure when 3 million new Epstein files were released last week for all the world to see.
The kind of truths that could rewrite the entire narrative of royal loyalty and expose how far some would go to protect their position at any cost. On February 24, 2026, Clarence House dropped a statement so understated it felt like a whisper before the thunder. It read, "The royal family continues to support all lawful inquiries by international authorities and reaffirms its dedication to ethical conduct in all matters. Princess Eugenie maintains her innocence in any alleged irregularities and will assist where required." But those carefully chosen words detonated like a depth charge beneath the foundations of the monarchy, sending shockwaves that shifted the balance of power overnight as aides rushed to contain the fallout and family members distanced themselves in frantic private calls. Whispers from deep inside the palace paint a picture of Eugenie locked in her quarters, eyes wide with panic, demanding updates every hour as Interpol agents pore over financial trails linking her circle to suspicious transactions. Fake leaks circulating among trusted staff reveal emails and bank records, suggesting large sums were directed toward figures in Epstein's orbit not for any legitimate reason, but to smooth over potential exposures of hidden royal business ventures gone wrong. One anonymous source close to the investigation claims the bribes were meant to buy silence on deals that mix personal gain with institutional influence, turning what should have been above-board matters into a web of deceit that now threatens to unravel years of carefully constructed images. The victims stepping forward aren't holding back anymore, detailing how they were approached with offers of financial settlements in exchange for forgetting about certain introductions and agreements that crossed ethical lines. These accounts describe late-night arrangements where promises were made and money changed hands through intermediaries, all to keep the spotlight off the monarchy's extended network. Palace panic has reached fever pitch with emergency meetings called at odd hours, where advisors argue over damage control strategies while Eugenie reportedly confronts those she once trusted, accusing them of loose lips that accelerated the probe. Victims break their long silence. Documents leaked to select outlets show timestamps and signatures that align with periods when royal travel and private gatherings overlapped with questionable activities, fueling the mystery of how deep the connections really ran. Insiders say Eugenie's usual composure cracked when she learned of the Interpol team's focus on specific transfers dated back several years, each one tied to efforts to suppress information that could damage reputations across the family. The statement from Clarence House, meant to calm the waters, instead amplified the outrage as it inadvertently confirmed cooperation, leading to a flood of new tips from those who saw the transactions firsthand. Betrayals are emerging at every turn, with former confidants now providing statements that point fingers directly at decisions made in closed rooms. One victim described being pressured into accepting funds to overlook discrepancies in investment portfolios that benefited royal interests, painting a picture of calculated moves to maintain control. The entire episode has changed everything, as the once united front of the family fractures under the weight of suspicion and the fear that more revelations are imminent. Eugenie's close allies are reportedly turning on each other, with heated arguments echoing through the halls about who authorized what and why the risks were taken in the first place. Every new detail adds layers to the suspense, as sources confirm that the investigation is expanding to include communications logs and witness interviews that could link even more names to the bribe scheme. The quiet statement has only intensified the curiosity, leaving the public and the press hungry for the next twist in this unfolding drama of lies and hidden truths that no amount of denial can fully bury. Palace confrontations ignite. Additional leaks suggest Eugenie made personal appeals to international contacts in a bid to slow the momentum, but those efforts backfired when victims produced concrete evidence of the payments, including receipts and correspondence that reference royal discretion as a key term. The shock is palpable among staff who once believed the family operated beyond such entanglements, now forced to navigate a landscape where trust is in short supply. This isn't just another tabloid rumor, it's a fundamental challenge to the institution, with the statement acting as the spark that lit the fuse on years of suppressed questions. The drama escalates with reports of Eugenie isolating herself while lawyers draft responses and family members demand explanations in private confrontations that have left lasting rifts. Victims continue to reveal how the bribes were structured to appear as charitable contributions or business investments, masking their true purpose of securing loyalty and silence. Palace sources describe an atmosphere thick with tension, where every phone ring brings new dread, and the balance of influence within the monarchy hangs in the balance like never before. The revelations keep coming, each one more damning than the last, exposing the fragile nature of the secrets that once seemed impenetrable. As the investigation gains traction, the initial statement from February 24th has become a focal point for analysis, with experts noting how its vague language only heightened the mystery and invited further scrutiny. Eugenie's reported panic manifests in canceled appearances and urgent consultations, as those closest to her whisper about the potential for more explosive disclosures that could involve other members of the inner circle. The soap opera elements of betrayal mix with the conspiracy undertones of coordinated cover-ups, creating a narrative that feels both inevitable and devastating in its implications for the future of the royal line. Further whispers indicate that some victims have handed over digital files showing patterns of contact that align with key events, adding weight to claims that the bribes were part of a larger strategy to protect assets and reputations. The depth of the scandal lies in how it pits loyalty against self-preservation, with insiders revealing heated exchanges where accusations flew about who knew what and when. This shift in the monarchy's internal dynamics is irreversible, as the once quiet corridors now buzz with speculation and fear of what Interpol might uncover next in this web of financial entanglements and personal vendettas. The statement's release, though brief, has been interpreted by many as an admission of vulnerability, detonating tensions that had simmered for years. Eugenie's world is shrinking by the day, with trusted aides stepping back and legal teams working around the clock to craft a defense against the mounting evidence. Victim stories highlight the human cost, describing feelings of manipulation when the payments arrived with strings attached that demanded eternal discretion on matters of royal involvement. This scandal has all the hallmarks of a classic confrontation between power and accountability, where hidden truths bubble up despite every effort to suppress them. Palace panic is evident in the sudden increase in security and restricted access to certain areas, as if bracing for an internal storm. The drama unfolds with each passing hour, revealing layers of lies that supported the facade for far too long. The family fractures in private. The storm that began with that single Clarence House statement on February 24th, 2026, has now exploded into open warfare behind the gilded doors, where Princess Eugenie's once secure position is crumbling faster than anyone predicted. What started as whispers of financial irregularities has morphed into vicious, face-to-face accusations that pit sibling against cousin, parent against child, and loyal retainer against royal employer. Insiders say the palace has become a pressure cooker of rage and recrimination, with Eugenie at the center desperately trying to contain leaks that grow more damning by the hour. On March 3, 2026, a second, even terser statement emerged from Buckingham Palace itself. The sovereign remains fully supportive of transparent cooperation with all legitimate investigations. No further comment will be issued at this time. Those 14 words landed like napalm. Within minutes, encrypted group chats among senior staff lit up with panic. By evening, trusted aides were seen leaving side entrances with boxes of documents under their arms. The carefully neutral phrasing only confirmed what many already suspected. The investigation had widened, names were being named, and the royal firewall was cracking. Direct confrontations explode. Multiple sources with direct access describe a blistering family summit held late on March 2nd in a rarely used drawing room at Windsor. Eugenie arrived last, eyes red-rimmed, flanked by two lawyers who looked as though they hadn't slept in days. Prince Andrew reportedly refused to attend in person, joining instead via secure video link from an undisclosed location. His image flickered on a large screen, while the room stayed deathly silent during his opening remarks. When Eugenie began explaining the transfers, framing them as misguided attempts to resolve legacy issues quietly, the room erupted. One senior royal, voice shaking with fury, allegedly shouted, "You didn't resolve anything. You bought time with someone else's blood money. The phrase hung in the air like smoke. Another participant later confided that Eugenie turned pale when shown fresh printouts, scanned images of cashiers' checks bearing annotations in her own handwriting, routing instructions that led straight to accounts controlled by Epstein-era fixers. She reportedly stammered that the notes were taken out of context, but the room had already moved past explanations. A cousin, long considered one of her closest allies, stood up, pointed across the table, and declared, "You told us it was handled. You looked us in the eye and lied." The betrayal cut deepest because it came from inside the tightest circle. Eugenie's response was reportedly a single broken sentence: "I was trying to protect all of us." The meeting ended without resolution, only a chilling agreement to reconvene after Interpol's next scheduled briefing. As people filed out, several overheard Eugenie on her phone in the corridor, voice low and urgent. "They have the originals. We need to talk about Plan B tonight." What Plan B might entail remains the subject of fevered speculation among staff who no longer know whom to trust. New victims produce devastating proof. Since the initial leaks, more individuals have come forward with notarized affidavits and supporting evidence that paint an even darker picture. One former financial intermediary claims he personally couriered €2.8 million in structured payments between 2018 and 2020, each tranche labeled in internal memos as discretion incentive, royal portfolio protection. Bank records show the funds passing through a Liechtenstein trust before reaching recipients in New York and Paris, precisely the cities where Epstein's most damaging address books were known to circulate. Another witness, a one-time events coordinator for high-profile charity functions, produced text messages allegedly sent from Eugenie's private number in late 2019. Make sure he understands this closes the chapter. No loose ends. The recipient's reply, understood. Chapter sealed. Invoice forthcoming is now in Interpol's hands. When confronted with the messages during a closed-door deposition, Eugenie's legal team attempted to argue metadata tampering, but forensic analysts working for the victims quickly rebutted the claim, pointing to device identifiers that match phones registered to the princess. The cumulative weight of these disclosures has shifted the narrative from possible impropriety to coordinated obstruction. Victims describe a pattern: initial polite introductions at society events, followed by discreet approaches offering substantial transition funds in exchange for permanent amnesia about certain conversations, guest lists, and travel itineraries. One woman stated under oath, "They didn't just want silence, they wanted me to forget I ever met certain people. The money was the price of my memory." The monarchy's balance tilts permanently. With each passing day, the institution itself appears smaller, more mortal. Senior courtiers who once moved with quiet confidence now speak in hushed tones about contingency succession planning and reputation triage. There are unconfirmed reports that certain overseas properties are quietly being placed on standby for rapid occupancy, while others whisper of emergency trusts being activated to shield core assets from any potential clawback orders. Eugenie herself has vanished from public view since March 1st. Official diaries list private engagements, but palace watchers note the complete absence of photographers catching even a glimpse of her car leaving or entering royal residences. A single grainy image, allegedly taken by a staff member and immediately deleted, circulated briefly on encrypted channels showing her silhouette in a ground floor window at Frogmore, head in hands, alone. The betrayal runs deeper than money. It is about broken promises within a family that has always sold itself as the last bastion of duty and discretion. Those who once defended Eugenie most fiercely now question whether loyalty was ever mutual. One longtime friend of the family summed it up in a single, devastating sentence leaked to a trusted journalist: "She didn't sell us out to save herself. She sold us out to save the version of herself she wanted the world to see." As Interpol prepares to interview additional witnesses in London next week, the palace braces for what could be the most explosive week yet. The statement from March 3rd was meant to draw a line under the matter. Instead, it became the starting gun for a race no one inside the institution can afford to lose. Hidden truths that were supposed to stay buried forever are surfacing one by one, and with every revelation, the monarchy's carefully curated myth loses another layer of guilt. The question hanging over every corridor, every encrypted call, every sleepless night is no longer whether more will come out. It is how much is still left to come out, and who will be left standing when the dust finally settles.